quarterbacks?
Well, they have two quarterbacks. Marques Ivory is more of the passer. You have Cody Blanchard, who is the runner. So we can expect to see both of those guys today.
This name, Jacksonville State, familiar to a lot of football fans out there because opening day this year, what they do, they upset Ole Miss at Ole Miss in double overtime. Those two guys had a huge part in that victory. When we come back, we'll have the kickoff. Second round game between Wofford and Jacksonville State. We are back here in Jacksonville, Alabama, about halfway between Atlanta and Birmingham. Jacksonville named after former President Andrew Jackson. Back inside the stadium here at Burgess Snow Field. Wofford against Jacksonville State. Let's take a look at the Wofford College Terriers and what they did this year. A 9-2 record, co-champions in the Southern Conference with Appalachian State. They lead the FCS in rushing offense, nearly 311 yards per game. They are led on the ground by Eric Breitenstein, and their leading receiver is Brenton Burson. And for Jacksonville State, 9-2 on the season, 6-2 in the Ohio Valley Conference. Their huge win came opening day against Ole Miss, a huge upset, 49-48 in double overtime. 10th in FCS scoring, leading rusher is Calvin Middleton, leading receiver is Jeffrey Cameron. The head coach for the Jacksonville State Gamecocks, Jack Crow, in his 11th season. A big game for the Gamecocks here, a big game for the South Carolina Gamecocks also tonight. That game is against Auburn in the SEC Championship. And for the Wofford College Terriers, the Terriers in their black and gold uniforms out of Spartanburg, South Carolina. These two teams, how do they match up statistically? Warwick, we've already spoken about the rushing. That's going to obviously go advantage for Wofford. Passing advantage for Jacksonville State. But how about that total defense?
Well, it's impressive that last year Wofford gave up almost 110 yards more last year. So this year they've done a lot better.
And there is the leader for the Wofford College Terriers, Mike Ayers, in his 23rd season as the Wofford head coach. He's a fun guy. He's an energetic guy. I like a coach who can try to keep his team loose. Yesterday, after giving the team the pep talk, when the practice ends, he says, "Shake and bake, Ricky Bobby."
Well, you need a coach like that. You need a coach to keep you loose, let you have fun. I like that.
The weather here in Jacksonville, Alabama, it's a little bit nippy. It's 53 degrees, feels cooler. Damp, overcast day, some showers in the forecast. But it's football season. It's December, it's playoff time, so grab a blanket, grab a hat, and have some fun.
Well, it's 53 degrees is nippy. Let's just keep it real. That is nippy. It's not good golf weather, but, you know, you snuggle up a little bit.
You can tell Warwick's been spending way too much time in the South, Atlanta, Tampa, not used to the cold weather anymore.
Well, I played enough cold games below zero, so I have my share of experience, but at the same time, when you can be in the sun, have fun.
Wofford won the toss. They elected to defer, so Jacksonville State will receive. Kicking off will be Casey Redfern. Back deep, Alan Bonner for Jacksonville State. He is a very, very good return man. Jacksonville State in the red and white, Wofford in the white and gold. And we are set for second round action here in the FCS playoffs. It is Bonner from the 5. And Bonner brings it out. Marked down at the 22, a 17-yard return.
Bonner, big play threat. I thought he was going to break that right there, but, you know, it's a good return, good solid return.
The Jacksonville State Gamecocks on offense led by Marques Ivory, a guy who set a school record with 444 yards against Eastern Kentucky back on November 6th. Calvin Middleton, the tailback. Alfonso Freeney, the fullback. On first down, Ivory looking to pass. And completes for first down to Jeffrey Cameron. A 12-yard pickup on first down. The wide receiver, Jeffrey Cameron, who just made that catch. He is the go-to receiver for this quarterback tandem of Marques Ivory and Cody Blanchard. And up front, first team all OVC, Kurt Porter at the right tackle. On first down, the handoff to Middleton. Middleton up the middle. Another first down. Another 12-yard pickup there, this time by Middleton. Tommy Irvin with the tackle. On defense, Ahmet Paul, the Southern Conference Defensive Player of the Year, a terror on that right end. The linebacking core anchored by Mike Nyam, one of the leaders of this team, and in the secondary, it is Tommy Irvin, the quarterback of that secondary.
Yeah, I like the first two plays. They came out through a quick hitch, got 10 yards first down, and come back and run the football inside. So you can see a little bit start of this game. They're going to mix it up, but they're going to be aggressive in attack.
Another quick pass, this time to the tailback, Calvin Middleton, and Middleton gets a yard. Blake Wiley comes up from the corner position to make the stop. So you're saying you like those first down plays that go for 12 yards?
Well, what coach wouldn't like that? What coach wouldn't like that? But I like the fact that, you know what, the first two plays, you pick up 24 yards. When you can do that, your offense, everyone gains confidence, and you have to have that on opening drive, and definitely at home, get this crowd into it.
And this is a team that has lost 2 of their last 3 games to end the regular season. Hand off again to Middleton. And Middleton, good yards on second down, brings it up to the 48, a pickup of 5. Ahmet Paul drags him down.
It was just a basic run play. You have a guy pulling around. He does a good job of really reading the blocks and getting upfield. What they want to do, they want to gain positive yards early in the down so that it's third and short. If they can continue to move the chains, get this tough against this tough defense, they're going to help their football team in this game.
3rd and 4. Marques Ivory from the shotgun, now an audible, saw a blitz coming. Play clock down to 3, and a timeout taken. First timeout of the game taken by Jacksonville State on 3rd and 4. Wofford College, located in Spartanburg, South Carolina, 1,500 students. All-time 3-3 in the NCAA playoffs. 4th appearance, actually 3rd time in the last 4 years they've been in the FCS playoffs. And their best finish was back in 2003. And Jacksonville State, well, we're here in Jacksonville, Alabama, 9,400 students. This is their first appearance since 2004. They went 2003 and 2004 looking for their first ever FCS playoff win. 3rd and 4. Just beyond midfield for Jacksonville State. Middleton in the backfield. Ivory over the middle, incomplete. Intended receiver was a tight end, Corey Freeman.
Yeah, just look like right here, he rushes the pass. The snap was a little bit low. I think he was just trying to put it on his guy's back shoulder, trying to avoid his guy taking a hit. I like his thought process, but he needs to put the ball in a position where he can catch it and get a first down.
On 4th and 4, Ivory's in there looking to go for it. Do you go for it? Do you have a pooch punt? You've got 3 wide receivers in. A pooch punt, nobody back deep, and this one's going to be down inside the 10-yard line. All the way down at the 6. A 42-yard punt by Marques Ivory. Switches that field position. Now Mitch Elm, the quarterback for the Wofford Terriers, will take the field, a 3-year starter. A very, very bright kid, someone who this coaching staff has a tremendous amount of confidence in.
He's had a very productive season for him. He's doing what he's supposed to do in his offense. The quarterback, you know, you're the captain. They're going to follow your lead. He's going to lead, but look for Eric Breitenstein to get started early in this football game.
Breitenstein, number 7. The handoff is to Breitenstein up the middle. And that's what they want, a 5-yard play right there. Monte Lewis with the tackle. Eric Breitenstein, the guy to look out for on the offense. You will run the ball the majority of the time. Up front, Pat Illig, first team Southern Conference at left guard. A good play for this Wofford team is 4 yards. They want 4 yards every play.
They want to get 4 yards, but what I like the fact that offensive line, those guys like knockdowns. If they can continue knocking guys down, they're going to get their 4 yards.
A 3-yard pickup, the defense for Jacksonville State. Monte Lewis, first team all Ohio Valley Conference. A linebacking core. Rodney Garrett, he is the most productive player on defense. And then in the secondary, a first-year safety, Reginald Harris, who is also a first-team All-OVC. 3rd and 2. Allen under center. Allen keeps it. And the quarterback, Mitch Allen, picks up the first down. TJ Heath with a tackle, an 8-yard pickup on 3rd and 2 by Mitch Allen.
Yeah, it was a good read by him. A little counter option. Fake it and goes. He just gets downfield. They do a good job of really, making guys separate, creating seams, and he does a good job of really hitting the seam.
Averaging 5 yards per carry on the season. First down, the handoff to Breitenstein. Breitenstein gets a couple of yards. Antonio Bonner with the tackle. Bonner, number 54, nicknamed Juice, second team OVC.
Well, it's some good juice, not the bad juice.
It's the orange juice.
It's the orange juice. But, Jacksonville State, what they have to do is follow their assignments, just be patient. They really can't attack. They have to pick up times when they're going to attack, but they have to read their keys and not follow the football. Just follow your assignments.
In the shotgun now. The pitch to Breitenstein, and Breitenstein, will he have enough for another first down? They're going to mark him out shy. He stepped out of bounds.
It's that option. You fake the dive. They actually got an eye, look like a little bit. And, the quarterback does a good job. You have to make the guy commit. The quarterback's job on a triple option, and I ran the triple option in high school, is that you read the dive guy and make the guy on the end line of scrimmage commit to you. Then you can pitch it to your guy, so he's open free.
And in high school, were you the quarterback or the tailback?
I was the quarterback.
3rd and 1. Handoff to Breitenstein, met at the line by Monte Lewis. He did not get it. A loss of 1 on the play. Monte Lewis, 6'3", 250-pound junior.
It's a good play, just really beating this guy, just getting upfield. And it's surprising that, you really don't stop option teams on 3rd and short, 3rd and 1, because usually they can get that 1 yard. So that was an impressive play on his part. But this is 4th down. 9 times out of 10, usually the team gets that 1 yard from 4th down.
4th and 1. The toss to Breitenstein. He gets the first down. How about that, though? Talk about a risky play. Mike Ayers rolls the dice deep in his own territory on 4th and 1.
Well, that's just, having confidence in your team. When you've been doing it all year long, you know what your guys can do. He believes in Eric Breitenstein, so why not let those guys go out and put him in a position to make a play? He made a play.
Breitenstein, 21 yards already on this drive. Back to pass. Allen over the middle. And it's incomplete. Was looking for Mike Rucker out of the backfield. This Wofford team will take a chance every now and then. They throw between 12 and 15 times a game.
Well, yeah, they've only thrown, 94 passes all year long. So to have a pass early in the game tells you you have to be honest on defense. But if I was Jacksonville State, I would put 9 guys in the box and force them to throw the football.
Those 94 passes, the fewest in FCS play this year. Breitenstein is out. It's Rucker, Donovan Johnson, and Jeremy Marshall. Again, the toss this time to Rucker. And Rucker gets run out of bounds, forced out at the 42-yard line. Antonio Bonner pushed him out. His 4th tackle, a 6-yard pickup.
Number 20, Mike Rucker on the carry for Wofford.
Yeah, a defense, you can't get frustrated. Early in the game, you have to figure out and get a feel for how this guy is playing across from you. So you have to be patient. You know, they can't worry about the fact they're picking up the yards early. This is a long football game. What they have to know is that Wofford is going to grind it out, run the clock, and try to control the line of scrimmage. And they have to do a good job late in the football game of countering that.
11th play of the drive. Back to pass again is Allen. Over the middle, up top, incomplete. Looking for Jeremy Marshall. The pressure applied by Antonio Bono and Morel Jones.
Well, it's a good job of really running over the guy and getting in the guys and just not having an opportunity to step through it. He got there quick enough where he couldn't follow through with the pass, so it was a little bit high.
Landon Bennett now on to punt. Back deep is Alan Bonner. Bonner standing at his own 22. Bonner calls for the fair catch, makes it at the 15. A 43-yard punt by Landon Bennett. No score here, first quarter. 8:06 to go.
ESPN has a brand new channel, Goal Line. Every Saturday will be your remote control.
Ball is loose. James Madison's got the ball.
Taking you around the country.
Let's go out to East Lansing.
It's a fake. Bates is going to throw.
To see all the big moments live.
Meanwhile, in Oxford,
Blanchard, the pass. It's good.
For when it counts on Saturday, watch ESPN Goal Line. Saturdays noon to midnight. Available on Time Warner Cable and Bright House Networks.
Back here in Jacksonville, Alabama, no score. Wofford and Jacksonville State, second round of the FCS Championship. On first down, the handoff to Darius Barksdale. Barksdale tries to break a tackle and does. And Barksdale, great second effort, finally brought down by Jamar Reeves. The top 10 in the FCS coaches poll as of November 21st. This is a matchup of top 10 teams. Wofford 6, Jacksonville State 9, Eastern Washington number 1 overall. Appalachian State, who tied Wofford this year in the Southern Conference for the championship, they are number 3. On 2nd and 2, the handoff to Calvin Middleton, and Middleton looks like he will get the first down.
It's a simple dive play, but that was a good first down run. I mean, he ran with some authority. You have to have plays like that against this tough defense. I mean, when you're ranked 8th in FCS, I mean, you're going to go out and make plays and you know, do some things uncharacteristic. And you know what? That was a good first down run.
Darius Barksdale now back in. The fullback, Alfonso Freeney. Play action. Past the sideline, caught by Alan Bonner. Preston Roseboro forced him out, a 15-yard pickup on first down.
Right there, that is just a rhythm throw. Good play action. Set his feet, read, throw on time. It's a good throw and catch. I mean, that is a rhythm passing play. In this offense, you know, these quarterbacks have to be in rhythm. They're running a lot of stuff in the spread and eye.
And off to Barksdale, and Barksdale up the right side, gets hit by Mike Nyam. Be marked down at the 47-yard line. A 7-yard run there for Darius Barksdale, the freshman out of South Panola High School in Batesville, Mississippi.
Well, right now, he's trying to make a statement that, hey, I am the guy. You know, you can get on my back this game. I'm going to run hard, run downhill, but also protect the football.
2nd and 3, Barksdale again, first down and more. Barksdale dragged down from behind by Blake Wally after a 15-yard run.
You have to give the credit by the offensive line. I mean, you know, he does a good job of making a move in the hole, and Jamar Reeves, he needs to do a better job of really looking at what you're going to hit, see it, then hit it. That time he ducked his head a little bit.
First down and 10. Calvin Middleton back in. Ivory in the shotgun. Hand off to Middleton. And Middleton gets hit at the line of scrimmage by Ahmet Paul.
Well, we expect to hear his name all game long. I mean, when you have 12.5 sacks, you are the guy on defense where you get it started. I mean, this is a defense where they rely on everyone to make plays, but he is the playmaker for them to get this defense started.
Ahmet Paul, also 19.5 tackles for a loss, good for 7th in the country. Ivory, pass complete to number 81, Justin Howard. Mike McCrimmon on the tackle, a 9-yard gain.
Well, they do a good job of really mixing up the play call. I mean, they're in the eye, 1 man in the shotgun, the spread. I mean, they do a good job of really mixing it up and give you a lot to think about. I mean, that's what they're going to have to do this game here is mix it up a little bit, give you a lot to think about, and hopefully they can catch you off guard and have a big play. They're having a really good drive where now they're taking a little bit of the clock, but they're running and throwing their balanced offense.
A couple of big plays on this drive, a couple of 15-yard completions. A handoff up the middle to Calvin Middleton. And Middleton has another first down up the 25-yard line. A 4-yard run for the junior.
But right now, early in this game, what they're trying to do is impose their will. I mean, they have the size advantage against these guys, so why not, hey, let's run the football downhill. We're not going to run away from you. We're going to run at you.
This offense averaged nearly 35 points per game this season, good for 9th in the country. Pass is incomplete, looking for Jeffrey Cameron. Preston Roseborough on the coverage. Not a good pass there from Marques Ivory, but I have been impressed with Ivory so far. Looks like he's got a pretty good arm.
Looks like he has a really good arm. He steps into it. He follows through. He does a good job. What I like is the fact that he's taking command of the offense. He's reading. He's not just going out just throwing balls in spaces. He's really reading the defense and throwing to the open guy.
3 wide receivers in on 2nd and 10. The handoff to James Shaw. Shaw can't turn that corner. Met right there by 24 Preston Roseborough and 13 Coleman Hornaday.
It's like a little reverse, wide receiver reverse a little bit, out the gun. What's good is that the fact that he gets upfield and after contact, he continues to move his feet. That is good. When contact, continue to move your feet, you fall forward. That's one thing I've always learned. You have to fall forward. Every yard counts in this game.
3rd and 5. Ivory, pressured, puts it up in the air. Incomplete. Is there a flag? No flag. The intended receiver is LeRae Williams. Roseborough on the coverage.
Well, he didn't have a good job of really being able to step into this throw. When your first read is gone, the second read, you know, he tried to go backside. He didn't have opportunity to really step into the throw. It's a good job of really creating pressure and forcing him to throw that football high.
37-yard field goal attempt here for James Esco. A transfer from Florida State.
Not a bad school.
Says some people. And the kick is no good.
James
3 points, not this time for Jacksonville State. Still scoreless here in the first quarter. James Esco missed a 37-yard field goal. He has now missed 3 of his last 4 field goal attempts, missed 2 of 3 in his last game against Tennessee Tech, 38 and 36. Look at the brackets here in the FCS Championship. The winner of this game takes on the winner of William & Mary, Georgia Southern. Delaware plays Lehigh, Bethune-Cookman against New Hampshire. And the top half of the bracket, the #1 overall seed, Appalachian State against Western Illinois. Stephen F. Austin against Villanova. Eastern Washington, the 5 seed, against Southeast Missouri State. Montana State against North Dakota State. 1st and 10 from the 20. The pitch to Mike Rucker. Rucker turns it inside. And Rucker, a big gain on first down. Marked out all the way down at the 41-yard line. A 16-yard pickup.
Yeah, Jacksonville State blitzed the backside of this run. They fooled him a little bit. Now when you have opportunity to have a free guy open in open field, he does a good job of making guys miss.
A 21-yard gain for Mike Rucker. The toss to Jeremy Marshall. And Marshall can't turn the corner, will pick up a yard. Jason Horton, number 9 on the stop.
Yeah, this is a big, fast defense. It's going to be hard to run lateral without running the option. I don't think you can pitch the football and run to the sideline. You have to do what you do best, run the triple option and run the football downhill. Fake the dive. If the dive's not there, take it to the edge, then get upfield.
On 2nd and 9. Pass complete to Brenton Burson, and Burson gets the first down. TJ Heath drags him down, helped out by Monte Lewis, a 13-yard pickup. Brenton Burson, he had 146 yards against Chattanooga.
Yeah, we're not used to seeing this. I mean, there's no play action here. He just gets up, throws the football. They must see something on defense that, hey, we can throw the football today, because I just think this is not characteristic of a Wofford's football team. When you only have 94 passes all year long, things are a little bit different.
A handoff to Eric Breitenstein. No gain. You talk about this triple option. You said you ran it in high school as the quarterback. What are you looking for? When you're that quarterback, what are you looking for in each and every play?
Well, if they're running the read triple option, I'm faking the dive and I'm reading the end man on line of scrimmage. If the end man on line of scrimmage takes the dive guy, I'm going to keep the football, then run to the edge and look for the next guy to commit to me or commit to the tailback.
2nd down and 10. From the 45 of Jacksonville State. Movement up front, it looked like the tailback, Eric Breitenstein, had a false start. Now it'll be 2nd down and 15. Mike Ayers, an intense guy. Truly a remarkable turnaround for this team. Last year to go 3-8, this year to go 9-2. They were picked 6th in the Southern Conference instead of the co-champions with Appalachian State.
Yeah, but last year they had 11 guys miss 3 or more games. When you have that type of loss to injuries, it's tough to maintain that playing at a high level.
Allen to throw again, completes the pass, and it's to Brenton Burson. A 14-yard pickup on 2nd and 15. Devin Reed with a catch.
Yeah, he does a good job. Reed gets in, reads the defense, and follow throughs. He followed through with the pass. I mean, Devin Reed caught the football, made a play.
You go from 2nd and 15 now to 3rd and 1. Breitenstein straight up the middle. Breitenstein has some room to the end zone. Touchdown. 36-yard touchdown run for Eric Breitenstein.
Yeah, they mixed it up a little bit. Running the different formations, run a basic dive. He just does a good job of really just running downhill in open field. No one can catch him. It's a good run, good play call. They've mixed it up a little bit, throwing the football, but also now go back to your bread and butter, Eric Breitenstein.
Christian Reed on for the extra point. A 7-0 lead for the Wofford Terriers after a missed field goal attempt by Jacksonville State. 6 plays, 80 yards, a 36-yard touchdown run for Breitenstein, his 21st of the year. Seven 0 Wofford leading thanks to that guy right there, Eric Breitenstein, a 36-yard touchdown run, capped off a 6-play, 80-yard drive. Breitenstein now with 57 yards already on the ground on just 8 carries. Mike Ayers talks about this triple option. He's been running it since 1980. They make a couple of adjustments year in, year out, trying to improve it, but so far it's doing the job. Taking time off the clock, putting points on the board. Casey Redfern to kick off with Alan Bonner and James Shaw back deep. Bonner from the 7. And Bonner gets tripped up, now gang tackled as he approached the 25-yard line. An 18-yard return for Alan Bonner. These two teams coming into today are kind of going in different directions. Wofford won 9 of the last 10. Jacksonville State lost 2 of the last 3. And Warwick, if you go to that last drive for both teams, Jacksonville State drives down. They have a 37-yard field goal attempt, a miss. On 3rd and 1, what does Wofford do? They run it in for 36 yards.
Well, that's probably why, Jacksonville State, they've lost 2 of the last 3. I mean, you can't have games and plays like that throughout a football game. It kills you. You have to put points on the board, give your team opportunity.
Cody Blanchard now in at quarterback. Play action. And his first pass attempt is incomplete, looking for John Houston Whitten. And that's what the coaching staff has told us about Cody Blanchard. Cody Blanchard, a baseball player, obviously can throw the ball, but people think he's going to run the ball. Well, he'll come in, and because everyone's thinking run, they may pass.
Well, he's a pretty good passer. They love the fact that he can do both. So why not let him come into the football game when we're all thinking he's going to run? Let him drop back, throw the football. Hopefully he can get better and get consistent.
Now he keeps it on the quarterback keeper. Jamar Reeves comes up to make the tackle. Second tackle of the game, a 4-yard run for Cody Blanchard. Will set up 3rd down and 6, and that may be the final play of this first quarter. Clock winds down, and that first quarter will come to end on a run there for Cody Blanchard. But 7 points on the board for Wofford. Eric Breitenstein with a 36-yard touchdown run gives the Wofford Terriers the first quarter lead, 7-0.
Your source for the best gridiron coverage is College Football Live. Our team is on the pulse of the game, bringing you analysis.
If they lose this game, they're definitely out of the national championship talk.
Breaking news, highlights, and big game predictions.
I'm going big red, baby.
Plus, we go deep for exclusive interviews.
The secret is out, my friend.
And unique features that will keep you wanting more.
Let's go, guys. Come on.
College Football Live, weekdays at 4 on ESPNU.
Start of the second quarter, 7-0. Wofford leading Jacksonville State, but Jack Crow and his Jacksonville State Gamecocks had the win maybe of the program's history back on September 4th of this year, playing against Ole Miss. That's the final score, 49-48. But how did they get there? Well, this is how they got there. Trailing 31-13 after 3 quarters, Marques Ivory hits Alan Bonner with 18 seconds left in the game. Then the 2-point conversion ties it up, forces overtime. In double OT, on 4th and 15, Cody Blanchard, 30 yards to the back of the end zone. Kevin Cooper with a touchdown. Now they decide to go for 2, and it's a little shuffle pass there, complete to Calvin Middleton, and the upset is complete. Jacksonville State defeating Ole Miss 49-48 in one of the biggest upsets of the entire season, back on the first game of the season.
Well, that was very impressive. I just think they were able to win that football game because they did not have turnovers on the road. That was key.
Marques Ivory back in. The flag is thrown. Going to be pass interference against number 43, Saquon Stanley. The intended receiver was Jeffrey Cameron.
On the defense, number 44. Ball be placed without a foul. First down.
Number 98, Eric Eberhardt, coming in saying, was that ball tipped? If it's tipped, it negates a pass interference.
Yeah, anytime the ball is tipped, you can go ahead and hit the guy, you'll get away with it. But, he was there a little bit too early. Saquon Stanley was there a little bit too early.
A first down, now from the 36-yard line. Cody Blanchard back in. Blanchard keeps it, met in the backfield by Ahmet Paul. That's a tackle for a loss of 2.
He's just adding to his total. I mean, he does a good job using his hands. I mean, you're shielding off a blocker, using your hands, making a play in the backfield.
Ahmed Paul now with 20.5 tackles for a loss on the season. 2nd and 12, Marques Ivory back in at quarterback. Richard Freelon now the tailback. Ivory dumps it out to Freelon. Freelon's got some room to run. Picks up the first down across midfield, down to the 46-yard line. A 21-yard completion play to Richard Freelon.
Yeah, Ivory does a good job of really throwing a little bubble screen to the running back. He throws a bubble screen to the running back, and it was a good block by LeRay Williams in open field. When you can have a block like that, getting down, getting in the way of guys, and the guys doing a great job of cutting over guys and jumping, being a hurdler, I mean, that's impressive.
It's a Warwick Dunn type run.
I never used to like to lead my feet.
On first down, the handoff to Freelon. And Freelon got tripped up. Otherwise, he could have taken that one a long way. Alvin Ciano.
You know, Freelon is really patient on the run. But Alfonso Freeney did a good job of blocking, sealing it so that he can get downhill and read and get off tackle. He does a good job of exploding up the football field.
2nd down and 3. And off to Freelon again. And Freelon's second effort, not going to go anywhere. Met initially by Saquon Stanley and Mike Nyam. Richard Freelon, a guy who really hadn't seen much time coming into this game, but after losing 2 of 3, the coaches gave the kids Thanksgiving off. They came back and scrimmaged Saturday and Sunday, and he came back and he showed the coaches what he can do, and they said, you know what, we got to give him a chance.
Well, you know, they said he had some really good practices. He was running over guys, running around guys, making plays. When you can do that at practice, it translates to playing well on Saturdays on the football field. He's doing that today.
3rd and 3 from the 38. Ivory, the pass complete over the middle to Jonathan Houston Whitten. First down, 9-yard completion.
Ivory, they're running a little spacing. It's a system that you run a little spacing route. One guy going to the flat, other guy's hooking up, and you just read the defender. If he goes to one guy, you throw to the other guy. Did a good job right there, really understanding what they want to accomplish and getting the first down.
Cody Blanchard back in on 1st and 10 from the 29. Blanchard, a quarterback design run. And he fumbled the ball, but he was marked down. Alex Goltry with a stop, a 4-yard run. FCS 2nd round games, App State, Western Illinois tied at 7. Same with Lehigh and Delaware. Everything else scoreless with games starting a little bit later on.
With this offense, with Blanchard coming in, it's a little bit different. They're not as wide open, I think, with the play calling. They're a little bit compact where they're going to look to run, occasionally throw the football, but with Ivory in the football game, look for them to throw the football down the field, not just run.
Hand off to Barksdale. And Barksdale gets pulled down from behind. Zach Bob, the defensive end. Pickup of 2 for Darius Barksdale. I will say this, you look at this offense for Jacksonville State, no points on the board, but they're not having a tremendous amount of time moving the ball.
No, they're moving the football. You just have to put touchdowns. You can't go for field goals. This is not the type of game. When you're in the playoffs, you have to score touchdowns. You can't go for field goals. Definitely not against the good defense.
On 3rd and 4, Ivory, pass is deflected. Great job defensively by Saquon Stanley. The intended receiver was the tight end, Corey Freeman. Brings up 4th and 4. What do you do?
Well, Saquon Stanley does a good job reading the quarterback, but not putting his hand and pulling the guy around, getting his hand in front and blocking the football.
Griffin Thomas will now come on for the field goal attempt. It's a 40-yard attempt. James Esco missed from 37 going the other way. And this kick is good. A 40-yarder from Griffin Thomas. 140 total yards of offense. 3 points on the board now for Jacksonville State. They trail by 4. (7-3), Wofford leading Jacksonville State. 11 plays, 52 yards. Capped off by a 40-yard field goal by Griffin Thomas. That was the first field goal attempt of the year for Thomas, and he split the uprights. And Thomas, he does the kickoff duties. So after missing 3 of his last 4, James Esco, it looks like Jack Crow maybe made the change, and now will give an opportunity for Griffin Thomas to do something here in a playoff game.
Right now, you're just trying to figure out ways to put points on the board. When you have your kicker goes out and miss one, you have to get the backup in and bring him in, and he puts it right through the uprights. I mean, that's confidence. You have to put points on the board against a really tough defense.
Mike Rucker, Jeremy Marshall back deep for Wofford. Low line drive kick. Marshall takes the high hop from the 2. Straight up the middle. And Marshall, forward progress, marked down to 24. Brandon Bird with the stop. Wofford on the last drive. Doing it through the air, and then also doing it on the ground.
Just simple in the air. DBs are playing off for Jacksonville State. Take advantage of that on the outside, but running the football downhill on simple dive plays. When you can do that, I mean, that tells you we're going to continue to do what we do with our guy, Eric Breitenstein.
On first down for the 24. The handoff is to Mike Rucker, who kind of slips and falls. Falls forward for a yard. Rodney Garrett with the tackle. Now, Warwick, how much of those pass plays led to that touchdown, that open field straight up the middle for Breitenstein?
Well, I think it's key because, you know, when you can establish we're going to throw the football, if you give it to us, we're going to take it. Now that gives you more to think about as a defense. At first, you're just concentrating on this #1 rushing offense, but now you have to concentrate on the fact that they're going to throw the football down the field. It's not a bubble screen. They're going 5-10 yards down the football field.
Pass complete to Brenton Burson. Francis Duncan with a takedown.
Yeah, he's grabbing, holding on for dear life. I mean, that wasn't a tackle right there showing a lot of confidence. That's just like, you know what, I don't want to get shook in open field, so I'm going to just wrap the guy up and hold on for dear life.
3rd and 1. Little bobble on the snap. The pitch to Breitenstein. Breitenstein down the sideline. Gets the 45. Robert Gray pushed him out, a 12-yard pickup.
But even after bobbling the snap, I mean, Mitch Allen does a good job really, you know, securing the football, still making a read, and running the option out. It is key that he continues to run towards the guy and force him to commit and pitches it to the edge.
And now the officials blow the whistle.
Please reset the game clock to 9:01.
Game clock from 9:06 to 9:01.
Both on the referees ready.
Eric Breitenstein. So far today, 9 carries, 69 yards, a touchdown.
Well, it looks like he's going to get 100 yards. I mean, it's just a matter of time.
Up the middle, the quarterback draw, nowhere to go. Monte Lewis. Lewis with his 3rd tackle of the game.
That was a good play because you stayed at home. When you're running an option, Montel Lewis stayed at home, read his keys, and just you really understanding the system that you're playing, but you have to be patient. Don't attack. He did a good job of staying at home and making a play.
Monte Lewis, first team Ohio Valley Conference this year as a junior. And off to Breitenstein up the middle. And Breitenstein gets up to the 48-yard line, a 4-yard pickup. Antonio Bonner, 5 tackles already on the day.
These are the type of plays you're going to have as a Jacksonville State. Make sure you make the tackle. When you initiate contact, make the tackle. You don't want them falling forward for 3 and 4 yards, because now you give them 3rd and short. Now it's 3rd and long.
Now 3rd and 7, 3 for 5 on 3rd downs in this game. The pass is low, into the ground, incomplete. Looking for Devin Reed. Pressure came from behind. The pressure by Rodney Garrett.
It's the first time today that he actually had pressure throwing the football. Any other time he's had a little bit of time to really look at his guy, but I think it was a little bit of miscommunication also with the receiver. When he was ready to throw, Devin Reed wasn't looking back, so it was a little bit of miscommunication there.
4th and 7 right now, going for it from the 48-yard line. Either that or a pooch punt. Another pooch punt. Nobody back deep. And this will be down inside the 10, all the way down to the 5. The pooch punts have worked for both teams. This time a 47-yard punt by Mitch Allen. 7:21 to go here in the first half. A 7-3 Wofford lead over Jacksonville State. Seven to 3 here at Burgess Snow Field in Jacksonville, Alabama. Wofford leading Jacksonville State for the 2nd round action of the FCS Championship year 2010. Justin Kutcher alongside 3-time NFL Pro Bowler Warwick Dunn. After the pooch punt, it'll be Jacksonville State ball all the way from their 5-yard line. Marques Ivory in under center. On 1st down, the handoff to Calvin Middleton. And Middleton gets 3.
Now we need to see what Jacksonville State, what they do right now with this possession. You have 95 yards to go down and score a touchdown. They have to have some plays. I would say definitely in the passing game. They're running the football, continue running the football effectively, but have some plays in the passing game downfield.
You saw that graphic, last 2 drives moving the ball, but just 3 points to show for it. 2nd and 7. And up again, up the middle, it's Middleton. Middleton tried to break, got the 1st down. A 12-yard pickup, but Tommy Irvin maybe saved a touchdown. If nothing else, a huge game.
He definitely saved a touchdown. That was a good open field tackle. But now it's just a simple counter downhill in the A-gap. He does a good job of almost breaking the tackle and getting upfield.
7 carries, 38 yards for Calvin Middleton. The junior running back, 5'11", 220 pounds. Got hurt in the 2nd game of the season, missed about 4 games. Returned, had 126 yards in his last game. Cody Blanchard now in at quarterback. Blanchard keeps it, gets tripped up in the backfield by Ahmet Paul. The 2010 NCAA Division I Women's Soccer Championship game between Notre Dame and Stanford is tomorrow at noon Eastern, live on ESPN2. For more information, go to ncaa.com, the official online home for all 88 NCAA championships.
When Blanchard's in the game, they're going to have to change up their play call a little bit. His plays are not as productive as when Ivory is on the field, so I expect them to change it up a little bit and let Ivory just get out there and just play football.
2nd down and 10, Ivory to pass, pressure, steps up, and he gets rid of it, looking for Calvin Middleton. It was a forward pass. That's what the referees ruled.
Yeah, he sits in the pocket, feels a little bit of pressure. You're thinking he's going to run. I think he can run a little bit, but it was almost a backwards pass. I mean, he was expecting this guy to really go out, but it was a backwards pass, I thought.
On 3rd and 10, the pass to Alan Bonner, and Bonner has the 1st down. James Zotto with the tackle. A 13-yard completion. If that was, in fact, a backward pass like you thought, that's a lateral, and it's a fumble.
Well, it's a fumble, but, of course, The call on the field was a little bit different, but I like the fact that, hey, we didn't have two good plays before that. We come back on a 3rd down, and we get a key 1st down to keep the drive alive.
1st and 10 from the 34. Ivory changing up the play. And off to Middleton on 1st down, and Middleton picks up a couple of yards. Gets tackled by Mike Nyam. Mike Nyam, what a story he is, number 45, the linebacker for this Wofford team. Tore his ACL last year against Wisconsin. Then in practice in August, didn't feel right. They had to reconstruct the ACL again. He returned 7 weeks later.
I mean, that shows you the type of heart the guy, he's one of the leaders on his football team. It shows you the heart that he has, that he's determined. He did everything in his power to get back out there, and he's here today.
Ivory, second option. It's the James Shaw, and Shaw gets wrapped up from behind by Zach Bobbs. A 3-yard pickup and a hard hit by Bob.
That little bubble screen. Look one way, is not there. Go back to the backside. And here, you know, Shaw needs to do a better job of getting upfield. When you catch the football, you were always taught as a young receiver, catch the football, plant the foot, and get upfield.
3rd and 5. Ivory, there's the pass, and it is incomplete. Incomplete, looking for John Houston Whitten, and Whitten took a lick.
It looked like McCrimmon came up and just really nailed him and freed the football. When you take a lick like that, I mean, you have to hold on to the football. If you're going to get hit, you might as well catch it. I was always taught, if you're going to get knocked on your butt, you might as well catch the football.
It's a good theory. Cody Blanchard now on to punt. Back deep is Brenton Burson. Burson standing at his own 24-yard line. Blanchard, the end-over-end kick. Burson, fair catch, makes the fair catch at the 19. A 42-yard punt by Cody Blanchard. We've got just under 3.5 to go here in the second quarter. It's a 7-3 Wofford lead. Welcome back to Jacksonville, Alabama. Burgess Snow Field. Go Terriers! The Terriers have traveled from Spartanburg, South Carolina. Of course, here are the fans from Jacksonville State here in their red. The Gamecocks of Jacksonville State trail right now 7-3 with 3:29 to go. Mitch Allen in the shotgun, running his triple option. Allen, the pitch to Rucker. Rucker's got nowhere to go, hit in the backfield by Rodney Garrett.
Rodney Garrett, he was patient. You know, you read your keys, make him run lateral. Make him run lateral. He did a good job making a play in open field. I mean, those are the type of plays you have to have for a defense, on a defense, to slow a high-powered rushing offense down.
Allen to pass, incomplete, got hit hard as he released the ball. The pressure applied by Demetrio Tyson. The pass was intended for Devin Reed. Now 3rd and 10. This could be the first 3-and-out that we've seen in this game.
Well, to me, that would be impressive with this defense, because if you can stop this high-powered offense running the football, I mean, you work on field position right now. Jacksonville State has been backed up a little bit, so let's work on getting good field position, hopefully change momentum a little bit in this football game.
3 for 6 on 3rd downs in the game for Wofford. And a timeout used by the Terriers. What kind of play do you run right now facing 3rd and long when you're a triple option team? We've seen Wofford with Mitch Allen throw the ball. Brenton Burson, Devin Reed, a couple of his targets. But what do you do as we take a look at the brackets here? The winner of this game will move on to the quarterfinals, take on the winner of the William & Mary Georgia Southern game. Top half of the bracket, Delaware Lehigh, Bethune-Cookman against New Hampshire. Those games will take place, the quarterfinals, next week. App State against Western Illinois, Stephen F. Austin, Villanova, Eastern Washington, Southeast Missouri State, and Montana State against North Dakota State. So what do you do here, Warwick? If you're the quarterback of a triple option team in high school, what are you calling for on 3rd and long deep in your own territory?
Well, like you said, if you was in any other offense, you're going to look to throw the football. But with this high-powered rushing offense, they still have options. I think they're going to throw the football here, but you still can run in the triple option offense and get a first down.
3 wide receivers in. Allen calls out the play. Allen keeps it himself, nowhere to go, picks up maybe 2 yards. Monte Lewis with his 4th tackle of the game, and this is a 3 and out. And as you said, field goal position now critical for Jacksonville State.
Yeah, I think Mitch Allen right here, it wasn't a good decision. Continue to attack, pitch the football. Pitch the football, then you get downfield.
Timeout taken by Jacksonville State, wanted to stop that clock. Now 2:48 on the clock, forcing a punt. The punt will be by Landon Bennett. And now with your return man, Alan Bonner, can you get even better field position? As you mentioned at the top of the show, Alan Bonner, a very good return man, whether it's kickoff returns or punt returns.
Well, this is the time in a football game, right before the half, that, you know what, when you have opportunity to make a play for your team, build momentum before the half, this is the time. So look for Bonner to hopefully get a quality return, set up good field position, and hopefully they can move the football in these closing minutes and put some points on the board.
Landon Bennett's a punt. Standing at his own 44-yard line is Alan Bonner. And a false start here on the near side.
Number 6 on the offense.
C.J. Turner called for the false start. Now even better field position opportunity for Jacksonville State. 5 yards deeper is Wofford. Now punting from just about the goal line is Landon Bennett.
Every yard counts. Every yard counts.
A 7-3 ball game, 2:48 to go here in the first half. Short kick. Takes a good bounce for Wofford. And that will be down at the 42 of Jacksonville State at 42-yard punt. First down, Jacksonville State. Coming up on our halftime report, we'll have a special feature on what many players treasure week in and week out. The helmet stickers. We'll also recap the first half, and we'll also wind up the highlight reel. Check off on the stats, so stay with us. That's coming up on the halftime report.
Wofford they really got a good bounce right there. I mean, when you're backed up a little bit, you get a quality punt, is able to roll forward. I mean, that was good on their part.
Marques Ivory working now with 1 timeout and 2:36 to go. Ivory. Pass is low, intended for James Shaw. Now 8 for 15 on the afternoon, 83 yards. Ahmet Paul applying the pressure on Ivory.
Yeah, when you're not able to follow through on the throw, it's going to be short. You're going to throw it in the ground a little bit. He couldn't follow through because Ahmet Paul was right at your feet.
2nd and 10. Ivory, plenty of time across the middle. It's dropped. Incomplete to number 21, LeRae Williams. James Zotto was right there on the coverage. And Williams is a little slow to get up right now.
Williams was running a little shallow cross series, and Zotto just really, you run into the zone as a receiver, sit in the zone. You have to sit down. You're not going to take that impact from Zotto. So, you know what? He ended up getting himself hurt a little bit, banged up a little bit because as a young receiver, you have to understand the route patterns, understand zone, and he got rocked a little bit right there because he didn't sit in the zone.
Good to see him stand up. You can see him a bit wobbly as he's trying to walk off the field right now. LeRae Williams, the senior from Elba, Alabama. 19 catches on the season, 1 touchdown. 3rd and 10 coming up here for Jacksonville State. The Gamecocks of Jacksonville State 3 for 7 on 3rd downs in this ball game. We saw a 3-and-out by Wofford moments ago. Will we see a 3-and-out here by Jacksonville State?
Well, this would be big for Wofford's defense because now we're creating field position.
Ivory's pass is nearly intercepted, dropped by Mike McCrimmon, the freshman. He had 6 on his mind.
Well, when you knowing that you're going to have to throw the football, you can run zone. Wofford ran a little bit of zone. He did a good job of reading the eyes. McCrimmon drops the football. You have to make those catches in a game like this. When it's back and forth, you have opportunity to really put some points up before the half. Big turnaround for your defense, for your team, when you have to make that play.
Cody Blanchard now on to punt. Bretton Burson back at his own 17-yard line. And that gets marked out of bounds at the 18. A 40-yard punt for Cody Blanchard. So with 2:14 to go and 2 timeouts remaining, Wofford has a chance to add to its lead. But give credit to both defenses. First, it's Jacksonville State forcing a 3-and-out, and then Wofford answers right back and forces a 3-and-out.
Well, you're kind of a little bit disappointed with the fact that Jacksonville State defense, you push them back, they're punting from the goal line, you get good field position, and you don't capitalize on it. You don't take advantage of that. And now you put your defense back on the field to have to go up against a high-powered rushing offense. I mean, that's too much pressure. You have to take advantage of those opportunities, and they didn't that last series.
Mitch Allen on 1st down. Handoff to Breitenstein up the middle. Breitenstein across midfield. Pulled down from behind as he crossed the 35-yard line. A.J. Davis drags him down, 48-yard run.
Well, go back to your bread and butter. Run a simple dive. He does a good job eluding one tackler, getting upfield. He's not a speed guy, but he's a guy who's going to protect the football while he's running, but continue to get upfield.
121 yards on the ground now for Breitenstein. Quarterback keeper for Allen. And Allen picks up a couple of yards. Tim McGee there on the stop. Breitenstein on the sideline, that's not what you want to see.
Now, he probably got banged up a little bit when you hit the turf as hard as he did right there. Sometimes the wind gets knocked out of you. I expect to see him back.
Donovan Johnson now in his place. Back to pass. Allen towards the end zone up top. And it's knocked down. Good defense by A.J. Davis. Bretton Burson, the intended receiver.
A.J. Davis makes a good play in the open field. You have an opportunity. They think they're going to fool you a little bit. He makes a play in the open field. I like it.
Davis now on the turf. A.J. Davis, the junior corner from Birmingham, Alabama.
He went up so high to get that, and you're falling down. You can't protect yourself on the fall. He falls down and really, I just think he hurt his ribs a little bit, knocked the wind out of him. But it was a good play. A guy stayed at home. They've been getting you a little bit on the passing plays on the outside, and they actually went deep.
3rd and 7 coming up here for Wofford from the 32-yard line of Jacksonville State. This is the FCS playoffs. Now, what's the difference, FCS versus FBS? Well, in FCS, you've got a national champion, an NCAA champion. FBS, the BCS champion. Bowl games versus playoffs, and maybe the biggest difference, the scholarships. A difference of 22 scholarships that FBS can give versus FCS.
Yeah, but I like FCS because the game is decided on the field. You have opportunity all teams have good years. Why not reward a team while you go out and you earn it on the football field?
3rd and 7, Breitenstein not in. The toss to Johnson. Johnson gets the first down. Donovan Johnson, the freshman from McDonough, Georgia.
When your guy's not in the football game, you can still run your offense because, you know what, they have to respect what you're doing when you're running the option. You know, now it comes down to Mitch Allen. Mitch Allen is going to control the line of scrimmage, making the right reads and getting his guys the football who he think make plays.
Hand off to Johnson, met right away by Jamison Wadley. And now a timeout taken by Wofford to stop the clock with 45 seconds to go. 1 timeout remaining here for Wofford, leading by 4, 7-3.
You know, this Wofford's offense, they may not make a lot of plays passing the football, but they can move it down the field, running it very quickly. I mean, they've done that.
The NCAA would like to thank our corporate champions, AT&T.
2nd down and 11 coming up. A loss of 1 on that play. Good stop by Jamison Wadley. Right now, this Wofford team having to do it without Eric Breitenstein. Breitenstein had that big run on the first play from scrimmage, a 48-yard run here on this last drive. 121 yards and 11 carries and a touchdown. He is now out of this game, being worked on the sideline. You said you think we'll see him back. We see him right there. As a football fan, you hope to see him back.
You hope to see him back. He's a big part of their offense. I mean, they rely on him to make a lot of big plays. I expect to see him back. This is a big football game. You want to go to the next round, you need your players. And his heart, I know he's a quality athlete, so he's going to get back out there.
The pitch to Jeremy Marshall, turns the corner, gets shoved out of bounds by Morrell Jones.
Jeremy Marshall on the carry.
A 5-yard run. Clock stops inside the 20, which certainly brings you to within field goal range.
Well, they're in field goal range, but Wofford, they want to score touchdowns. They don't want to make this game close. Like I said, they've gotten on the roll towards the end of the season and really knocking teams out. Hey, they want to continue running their offense, and they can do that. I think they have a timeout still, so they can still run their offense and take a shot in the end zone.
Play clock down to 5. The handoff to Johnson. Johnson's second effort falls forward. He's going to come up short. 5 yards on the play. Jason Horton makes the tackle.
Jason Horton saved the touchdown. I mean, here he does a good job of really tripping him up, saving the touchdown.
Going for it here on 4th and 1. Up the middle, Johnson, does he get enough? Yes, he does, the first down. The clock should stop now as you get a first down.
Johnson on the carry for the Terriers.
And now they'll have to either call the timeout or spike it. They call the timeout, but I guess my question right now is, you've got one play. If you want to take a shot at the end zone, you can't afford to run the ball now, can you?
No, they took that option away once they called the timeout. I would have just tried to clock it a little bit and come back, and you could still try to run a play, a quick passing play to get into the end zone. So a little, you know, coaches decide sometimes with only 9 seconds on the clock, they don't want to take that chance. Would you rather attack the end zone, taking a shot with the pass, hopefully it's incomplete, or hey, let's just line up with a field goal and go out and kick a field goal?
Do you even take the chance of trying to go for a touchdown, or do you try to get the field goal?
I wouldn't do it here. I mean, their passing plays have been in front of the DBs. They've only thrown 5, 10-yard hitches, so I would take a shot kicking a field goal.
Christian Reed on for the field goal attempt. A 28-yard field goal attempt to give his team a 7-point lead. And that was drilled through the uprights. Good clock management there by Wofford. And now they've got a little bit more breathing room heading into that second half.
That was the right play call by our coach. That was the right play call. You can't take points off the board, not in the playoff game and not on the road.
The Terrier, you can't tell, but he is happy.
Well, he's never happy. I don't think he's happy until the season's over with. He realizes, you know, this is how far we're going. We have to prepare for next year. Right
I don't
now,
know. It's raining. He's got a little jacket on. I think he's doing all right for himself.
Just tad bit. He's doing all right. He's protecting himself. He's cute.
As a fashion critic, is the jacket good? Is it a good raincoat?
It's a good raincoat, but, you know, they protect him, take him inside. This is not the weather for him.
9 plays, 71 yards, 2 minutes and 9 seconds. The big play, the 48-yard run by Eric Breitenstein. Then it was capped off by a 28-yard field goal by Christian Reed. Breitenstein on the sideline talking to his teammates. We'll get an update from Coach Ayers before the end of this half on what the status is of Eric Breitenstein for the second half. Casey Redfern, he will kick off here. Back deep is Alan Bonner, and I'd almost be shocked if they kick to Bonner here.
I wouldn't kick the Bonner at all. I wouldn't take that shot out. Squib, kick it, run the clock out, and go to halftime.
Instead, they kick to Bonner. Takes it from the 16. The reverse to James Shaw. And a flag comes in. Shaw goes down at the 35. An 18-yard return. And it's going against Jacksonville State. So this first half will come to an end. A 10-3 lead right now for Wofford on top of the Gamecocks of Jacksonville State. Breitenstein, 121 yards. The triple option working so far for this Wofford team. We've also seen him put it up in the air a bit, and that's also paid off for him.
Well, they're balancing up a little bit, not just running the football like we expected, but they're taking shots on the outside. It's not a lot of passes that are going downfield. They're taking shots on the edge because they see the DBs are deep for Jacksonville State. Why would you be deep? I mean, you're playing against a Russian offense. I would be 5 yards. Force those guys to throw the football over top. They're letting them catch the football in front and picking up key first downs.
Wofford won 9 of its last 10 games coming into this game. Jacksonville State lost 2 of its last 3. Right now it is a 7-point lead for Wofford. We're joined now by the head coach for the Wofford College Terriers, Marques Ivory. And Coach, thanks for joining us. First things first, what's the status of Eric Breitenstein?
I'm really not sure. He came off the field, and I'm not sure whether it was his wrist or his shoulder. I'll check it out when we get in there at the half. Tough football game, physical football game. Jacksonville State, some big guys, but we're slugging it out and we're hanging in there, and hopefully we can continue.
Well, Coach, do you guys see anything out there where you're throwing more passes on the edge than we're probably accustomed to seeing?
Well, what they're giving us, evidently, they've schooled them up real hard on don't get beat deep. They feel like that they can stop us with the 8 in the box, and they just don't want to get beat deep. So we're kind of doing the nickel dime stuff, and all we're trying to do is move the sticks and get some first downs and hopefully get a touchdown along the way.
All right, Coach, thanks for joining us. Good luck in the second half. A 7-point lead for Wofford on top of Jacksonville State here as we finish up the first half. It was a 36-yard touchdown run by Eric Breitenstein. That was one of his 2 big runs in the game. He also had a 48-yarder. 10-3, Wofford on top of Jacksonville State.
Welcome back to the ESPN3.com halftime report presented by Capital One. Boise State kicker Kyle Brotzman is the all-time leading scorer in Boise State and WAC history. The senior has made more field goals than anyone in Boise State history. But after missing 2 short field goals late in the Broncos' 34-31 overtime loss to Nevada last Friday, a new legacy emerged. Brotzman did not speak to the media after the game, but did agree to sit down with our Tom Rinaldi.
You got a lot of things riding on you just with one snap and kick. It's pretty much a kicker's dream to kick a last-second field goal to win a game.
That was the situation for senior kicker Kyle Brotzman as he faced a 26-yarder with 2 seconds left in regulation to preserve a perfect season and keep his team's national championship hopes alive.
And now it comes down to the right foot of Kyle Brotzman.
I honestly thought I had hit it straight. And then I looked up and it was selling to the right, and I was just like, that's probably not gonna work.
No good!
I just kind of dropped, just couldn't believe it.
Heading to overtime, Brotzman tried to forget what just happened.
It's a tough thing to just try to block that last kick out when it was more than 2 minutes ago that you had just missed a game-winning kick.
When Boise's first possession stalled, he came out again.
I thought about that last kick a little bit too much, to be honest. I think that was still in the back of my mind, and I didn't want to fail again.
When your foot struck the ball,
I knew it wasn't going in.
This is turning into a disaster for Brotzman.
Brotzman never got a third chance. When you got into the locker room and got to your locker, what was going through you?
I teared up, just the fact of, what I felt that I had costed the team. As far as a BCS game or whatever it was going to happen down the road. That was probably the most heartbreaking thing, was that I had let down all my teammates.
We love him to death. He's one of our boys. He's part of this family.
What did that mean to you?
It means a whole lot to me. We have a stronger team than we originally thought. I think we're a lot closer now. It's that one game. It wasn't just a kick that did anything. I think it was that game. Just suffering a loss, I think it brings you closer.
When Brotzman returned home that night, he checked his Facebook page and found hundreds of notes, many supporting, others condemning.
From the "I hate you," "I hope you die" messages, "You lost us a ton of money," "I had a bunch of money riding on this game," those kind of stuff.
Boise State fans created dozens of Facebook pages supporting Brotzman on their own, including one with more than 10,000 who signed up. What will happen the next time you go out for a field goal?
Same routine. Get a little jog out there, take steps back, lean back, and keep my head down a little bit longer, and put it right through the uprights.
That Facebook page, Bronco Nation Loves Kyle Brotzman, has more than 40,000 fans. As one woman posted on the site, that's more people than can fit in Boise Stadium. So it's nice to see people supporting Brotzman. But the loss, it shouldn't rest solely on his shoulders, but they did lose, ending what was supposed to be a magical season for Boise State.
Yeah, when you think about where Boise State is now, well, they're right back where they started the season. It's even worse now because you look at them, they lost in Nevada, and it validates what everybody was saying about them before the season even started. They can't hold up against good opponents, and that's what happened to them. And now, look where they're at now. Their conference, which was supposed to be one of those conferences that could compete for an automatic qualifying bid, well, now they're the only ones there. Utah left, TCU left, BYU's not in there anymore, and now they have all their members from the WAC, like Fresno State and Nevada, coming into the Mountain West, and they're also going to be losing all their TV viewingship because they're on a different network. So for that kick, for that guy to miss that kick, had huge implications.
You, of course, are mentioning how Boise State's moving to the Mountain West next season. They'll have one season with TCU before TCU heads to the Big East, and they're going to lose their partner in crime, so to speak. Their person that their team that they compare to, that helps that non-AQ debate.
Yeah, TCU leaving does a lot against Boise State, and I feel like I'm watching an episode of Survivor. Everybody made these alliances, and then when they get to tribal council, everybody votes the opposite way that they agreed to. And then who's left holding the bag? Well, it's Boise State, with nowhere to go, no automatic qualifying bid, right back where they started.
We see the teams joining the conference, Boise State, Fresno State, Nevada, and teams leaving the conference, TCU, Utah, and BYU. Those three teams were a huge reason why the Mountain West was being considered for an automatic bid. We'll see what happens as the season.
Yeah, it's like every man for themselves in that conference. Who can get to an automatic qualifying first, and Boise State is left holding the bag.
Well, that's all the time we have on the ESPN3.com halftime report presented by Capital One. Make sure to tune into College Football Final to see this week's Capital One Cup Impact Performance nominees. He's Christian Foyer. I'm Cassidy Hubbard. Enjoy the second half.
And also missing a field goal in that first half for Jacksonville State.
Well, that's not the way you wanted to finish a season. You're losing 2 of 3. I think it is a little bit of confidence, and you have the week off to really look back and relish on the season. Say, hey, we cost ourselves a bye. I mean, you cost yourselves of winning the conference outright. So I think they're a little bit down, but they need to regroup in the second half and really come together as a team. They're at home. They can come together as a team and really move the football, put points on the board, and hopefully knock off Wofford.
You see Jack Rowe there. Jack Rowe joining us just moments ago. And then, of course, the head coach for Wofford, Marques Ivory, who spoke to us. And both coaches kind of, well, they're coaches. They're happy with some things. They're upset with other things. They think they can do things better, and that's always the case. Jacksonville State will kick off here to open up the second half. Griffin Thomas will kick off. Back deep, Mike Rucker and Jeremy Marshall. Griffin Thomas, he's responsible for the only 3 points on the board for Jacksonville State. He had a 40-yard field goal in the first half, his first field goal of the season. Jeremy Marshall will take it from the 4. And Marshall takes it across the 25 up to the 26-yard line. A 22-yard return. Brooks Robinson, no, not the third baseman, makes the tackle. There is Eric Breitenstein with that shoulder injury back out there to play. And I can remember a game years ago, the Cowboys against the Giants, final game of the season. And Emmitt Smith, I think it was a separated shoulder in the first half, ended up rushing for over 150 yards in the game, and Dallas won an OT. So now Breitenstein showing off his toughness. On first down, the pitch to Mike Rucker. And Rucker gets headlocked, clothesline down on the ground by Morrell Jones. 7-yard run for Mike Rucker on first down.
Yeah, but Clark Bishop, it's a key block on the end, just really cracking back and really just creating a scene for him to get out there and run the football. I mean, that was a good block. This offensive line, they're agile. Those guys can move and get in the open field and make plays in open field to help their guy run the football.
On 2nd and 3, the handoff to Breitenstein, met in the backfield by Antonio Bonner. A loss of 2. Bonner now with 6 tackles on the afternoon. Antonio Bonner, a guy who's been banged up all year long, banged up in the past, but this year he has fought through it mentally. A second-team all-OVC performer on the season.
Well, he has, 7 tackle for losses on the season? So, I mean, he makes plays. When I have an opportunity, he makes plays when he's on the football field. That was a good play right there, a negative play for Wofford. So hopefully his defense can really step up and force a 3 and out.
On 3rd and 5, it's kept by the quarterback, Allen. Allen escapes 1 tackle, dives forward. He's going to fall a yard shy of the first down. Jason Horton brings him down.
Horton brought him down, but, you know, when you're the defensive end, you have to make the play in the backfield to force a 4th and long. When it's 4th and short for an option team, they're going to go for it, because what do they have to lose? It's hard to stop a team who runs the option from gaining 1 yard.
We saw this on their first drive of the game. We're seeing it now on the first drive of the second half. 4th and 1. It's a quarterback keeper, and this is going to be really close. Morrell Jones and Monte Lewis combined for the stop, and I'm actually shocked that it was Mitch Allen who kept that.
I'm shocked that they didn't run the option. They didn't go with their guy, Eric Breitenstein. They didn't use him in this here. So I'm a little bit shocked that they go with Mitch up the middle. Why not get to the edge and give it to the dive player?
You wonder how much of that shoulder playing an issue with Breitenstein, because his first run in the second half didn't have much, lost a couple of yards. They didn't give it to him here on 4th and 1. And now a stop by Jacksonville State with great field position, taken over at essentially the 35-yard line of Wofford.
I think Monte forced Mitch Allen to fumble the football. He was moving forward, you fumble the football, you have to re-spot it when you're down. Re-spot it there, he was a yard short of getting the first down.
Let's take one more look here.
When the ball comes out, he may have had the first down, but when it comes out, he falls back on it, he's a little bit short.
Now on first down, Marques Ivory, the handoff to Calvin Middleton. And Middleton up to the 29-yard line.
See, a series like that defensively can wake up your team. You can wake your teammates up, say, hey, we have an opportunity. You stop a really good offense. Now, this offense, Jacksonville State, they have to put points on the board. They want to score a touchdown. There's a good power run on first down.
2nd down and 4. Hand off again to Middleton, and Middleton met at the line by Mike McCrimmon. This Jacksonville State, 9-2 on the season, had that tremendous win at Ole Miss, first week of the season, double overtime victory. 10th in the FCS in scoring offense. They're actually without one of their top running backs, Jamel Young. Lost him to a knee injury a couple weeks ago. He was, his coaches said, the most effective runner on this team. 3rd and 4. Middleton again, and Middleton's going to come up short. It'll be 4th and 1. Ahmet Paul with a tackle. And it just seems like all of a sudden both teams have gotten ultra conservative to open up this second half.
They've gotten conservative, but I like Jacksonville State. They ran the football effectively in the first half. Why not continue that in the 3rd quarter? So here is 4th and 1. You have to go for it. Your defense just made a big play. You have to go for it on 3rd and 1 and get a first down.
The handoff to Middleton, and Middleton has the first down. 3-yard pickup for Calvin Middleton.
We always have to remember that Jacksonville State is a much bigger and physical football team than Wofford, so why not take advantage of that? They did it right there. Big offensive line, just really controlling the line of scrimmage and creating a scene.
1st and 10 from the 23. Play action. Ivory. Intercepted. Preston Roseboro. And Roseboro gets taken down now at the 4-yard line. Jumping the route. First turnover of the game for either team.
It's the first turnover, but right there, Ivory was a little lazy on the pass. I mean, he had the guy wide open in the seam. You have to really hear. He rolls back. Ivory rolls back. He has to really drive that football into that seam right there, and it'll be a touchdown. He was a little bit lazy right there.
Inside handoff to Breitenstein, and Breitenstein gets a yard. Jamison Wadley on the tackle. It almost makes you scratch your head. You saw him make that throw off the back foot. Like you said, he's got to get it in there and really throw it. But they go for it on 4th and 1. They get the first down. They take a chance. And usually when you see that ball, you see it lofted towards the back of the end zone where only one player can make that catch.
Well, yeah, I like the fact that, hey, we just got a first down, 4th and 1. We come back and we take a shot. You have to.
Here's another fumble. It should be a safety. Rodney Garrett popped it loose. And it is a safety.
That is what you want for a defense. You know what? You just had an opportunity. You know what? Let's knock the guy out. You take a shot, knock him out, create the turnover for your offense.
Rodney Garrett, he had that ball. He was the one who knocked it free, recovered out of the end zone, a safety. 10-5. Wofford will have to kick off when we come back. There is Rodney Garrett. He's the man who deflected that ball on the pitch on the option that caused the safety. Rodney Garrett, the junior from Huntsville, Alabama. His nickname, Texas.
I don't know where you get that nickname from. Texas, or you're from Alabama. It's a little weird. But you know what? The thing coaches say about him is that he plays well in space. I mean, he's one of those players that they feel like he's an eccentric person. I mean, right there, he made a special play. We could see that.
Off the safety, which was the first safety for Jacksonville State since 2008, September 27th against Eastern Illinois. Now it is Casey Redfern to kick off from his own 20. Taken at the 24 by Alan Bonner. Straight up the middle. All the way up to the 45, a 20-yard return. David Royster on the tackle on special teams. So good field position here for Jacksonville State. Let's just think about what has transpired so far here in this first in this first, I don't know, few minutes of the third quarter. We've had a good defensive stop. 4th and 1, they didn't get it for Wofford. Then a turnover, interception by Jacksonville State. Force now, you first Wofford back deep in their own territory. A safety off the pitch on the option. And now field position here up to the 46-yard line for Jacksonville State on their second drive of this half.
Well, both teams are a little bit alive right now in this third quarter. Early in this third quarter, it's a little bit alive. Guys are making plays. It's a good quality run right there on first down.
Darius Barksdale gets 8 yards. Blake Wiley brings him down.
But I think right now you can see the life that Jacksonville State has right now. They're a little bit attentive to what's going on. They're playing a little bit with a little bit more pizzazz. I mean, they're making plays. Guys are hopping around, flying around, making plays right now.
2nd and 2, Marques Ivory changes up the play. Hand off to Barksdale. He's got some room. Barksdale got the first down. Taken up to the 37, a 10-yard run. Tommy Irvin with his 3rd tackle of the game.
Barksdale is just running downhill. What they've decided to do in this third quarter, we're going to attack in the middle, downhill. Why run to the edge? No, our backs are picking up quality yards in the middle. Let's attack, and they're doing it.
6 carries, 49 yards for Barksdale. Now 7 carries, and he picks up a couple more yards, now up to 51 yards. He's a big running back, though. 6'1", 205 pounds. The freshman who played at South Panola High School in Batesville, Mississippi.
What I like is that the fact that all these backs that are in the game, each one is running with a little bit of authority. They're running with a purpose, for a passion, and then you have to do that. They're breaking tackles. They need to continue to pick up the feet, get out the trash. Hopefully they can get a long run in this game.
2nd down and 8. Again to Barksdale. Hitting the backfield, escapes, and more positive yards. 7-yard run, Tommy Irvin with another tackle.
I have to credit Barksdale right there. Running behind your pads. I mean, when you're running forward, you're parallel to the goal line, your power is going forward. He did a good job right there of really breaking the tackle, leaning forward, and running behind his pads.
On 3rd and 1, Calvin Middleton comes in as the running back. And after throwing the interception, Marques Ivory has not attempted a pass here on this drive. A handoff to Middleton, and Middleton gets hit, but he will have enough, it looks like, for the first down. Saquon Stanley with the tackle. There is a player down on the ground.
Try to get a quick little belly to the fullback, to the tailback right there. He does a good job of really keeping his feet moving after contact. all great backs, you have to keep your feet moving after contact to continue moving forward, falling forward.
Tyler Ogletree, the center, second team all OVC, has helped off the field as we've got a measurement now. It is a first down for Jacksonville State.
Middleton, and coaches said he needed to step up. I mean, that run right there is what they're looking for. Extra effort run. I mean, it's key to keep a drive alive, to move the chains. That was an extra effort run.
Darius Barksdale back in at tailback. Alfonso Freeney, the fullback. Hand off to Barksdale. And Barksdale gets wrapped up by Tommy Irvin and Blake Wiley. Updating some scores around the second round action of the FCS Championship. App State now up big over Western Illinois, 35-7. Delaware opening up the game against Lehigh, 28-13. UNH and Bethune-Cookman tied at 14. And Georgia Southern a lead over the number 2 seed William and Mary.
This is an opportunity for them to take a shot. They've run the football very well on this drive. Now you can take a shot, but Ivory has to step into the throw when they do that.
Instead, the handoff to Barksdale again, and Barksdale brings it up to the 20. Fifth tackle of the game for Mike Nyam, a 4-yard run for Darius Barksdale.
With third and medium, 3rd and 5 to go, you still can run your offense. I mean, you have a selection of plays that you have in key moments like this. This is a big moment in the game for them because now momentum is shift back to their side. Their defense is playing well, and offensively, they're starting to control the line of scrimmage.
Can they get another first down on 3rd and 3? Hand off to Barksdale. And Barksdale falls forward. Where is he marked out? And he may be just shy or at the marker.
You hear, the only thing I don't like about this run at the end is that he did not finish with his shoulders parallel to the goal line. I mean, you can't fall forward. You can't get a first down if you're not falling forward.
No measurement needed, 4th and 1. Hand off to Middleton, and Middleton looks like he's short. The defensive stop by Wofford. Keaton Thompson and Tommy Irvin combined for the stop.
Wofford said, hey, you get me once, you're not going to get me twice. You know, Jacksonville State tried to come back and run the same play they ran early in the drive to get a first down. This is a defense that make good adjustments on the fly, and they made a really good adjustment right there. Tommy Irvin and Keaton Thompson made plays for their team.
We have now had a defensive stop by both teams in this half. It is 10-5, Wofford beating Jacksonville State. Five-point lead for Wofford here with 5:26 to go in the third quarter. Second round action of the FCS Championship. What a difference here in the second half for Wofford. Only 5 yards on the ground.
It'll be interesting to see if they get Breitenstein back involved in his offense. We'll see how that shoulder holds up.
Mitch Allen keeps it. Gets taken on the ground by Morrell Jones. And Warwick, going back to the last play, going forward on 4th and 1, certainly within field goal range. Surprised at all that Jacksonville State went for it as opposed to, you know, kicking the field goal?
I'm not surprised at all because they felt like they had momentum. When you're going off momentum a little bit, your defense is starting to play well. You have to take chances. When you're down, you have to take chances. Your team has to play with some confidence, and they were doing that.
Pass to Brenton Burson. And Burson gets marked out of bounds just shy of the 30, a 9-yard pickup. Nick Johnson with the tackle gets the first down. The only thing that I would look at, and going back, and obviously hindsight is 20/20, but at that point, if you pick up the first down on 4th and 1, it's not huge. It's not going to devastate the defense. But if the defense makes the stop, momentum switches.
Yeah, but, you know, it was good field position. If you're punting the football, you're still creating field position. So they would have to drive down the field. Like I said, this third quarter, their defense has been flying around, playing with a little bit more energy. I would take a chance on my defense to make a play. They made a couple plays in the last couple series, so why not do it now?
Rodney Garrett with his 5th tackle of the game. Breitenstein nowhere to go, and this could be something, a storyline to follow with Eric Breitenstein. He went down in the first half late with a shoulder injury. Since he's come back, he's been ineffective in 3 carries here in the second half.
He doesn't look the same. He's not running with that same type of authority that he ran with earlier.
2nd and 8. Hand off to Breitenstein. And again, maybe gets a yard. Demetrio Tyson with his 1st tackle of the game.
Breitenstein usually is a guy that, hey, I'm going to run over you, I'm going to run around you, make a move. Right now, it seems like he's protecting himself when he's running the football. He has to make sure his pads stay a certain way, lateral towards the line of scrimmage, and fall forward.
3rd and 7. Allen rolling out to the right. The pass is complete to Devin Reed, but short of the 1st down. Only 2 yards on the completion. And the way this offense is moving the ball right now, it looks like it's got to be a punt situation now and just try to switch field position for Wofford.
Well, this is why Coach Crow went for it on 4th down. My defense is playing well. I mean, right here, they force a 3-and-out. Offense gets the football back. And now they can go back out, continue doing what they're doing. Been doing this 3rd quarter, running the football up the middle, controlling the line of scrimmage, and they're going to have to take a shot downfield. I would think to score a touchdown.
Landon Bennett on to punt. Alan Bonner back deep. Bonner makes the catch to 33. Bonner goes down just shy of midfield. Coleman Hornaday with his tackle. It will be Jacksonville State ball at their own 49. Here at Burgess Snow Field in Jacksonville, Alabama. 5-point lead for Wofford here in the 3rd quarter with 2:21 to go. And really the story of this game right now for Wofford has been Eric Breitenstein. 1st half dominant, 2nd half ever since that shoulder injury. 1 yard on 4 carries, and Wofford has not been able to move the ball here in the 2nd half. Great field position here for Jacksonville State. Marques Ivory under center. 1st down, the handoff again to Calvin Middleton. And Middleton gets tackled. No gain, Keaton Thompson there on the stop.
Well, that running play right there is, you're running into what Wofford wants you to do, is run lateral. This type of defense, you have to attack. You have to go downhill, not lateral. So Calvin needs to do a better job of getting in the line of scrimmage, creating contact, and falling forward.
Here in the 2nd half, 14 of the 15 plays for Jacksonville State have been passing plays. Have been rushing plays. The 1 pass play, an interception. Here's a 2nd pass play, and a completion. Complete with tight end Corey Freeman, drags a couple defenders forward for the 1st down. 12 yards.
Well, right now, Wofford's doing a good job with stuffing the run. So they come back. Let's go back to throwing, 5, 6, 8-yard passing routes, reading the defense, throwing in a spot where only his guy can catch the football.
Middleton trying to be patient. Up to the 45. The 35. The 2010 NCAA Women's Volleyball Regionals take place Saturday, December 11th, beginning at 4 p.m. Eastern, live on ESPN UHD. For more information on the NCAA Women's Volleyball Championship, go to ncaa.com, the official online home for all 88 NCAA championships. Darius Barksdale now in. The pass swung out to Jeffrey Cameron. And Cameron nearly broke it. Philip LeGrand there on the stop.
That was a good execution of a play of a screen. Guys making a read. The receiver does a good job of planting the foot and getting upfield immediately. Jeffrey Cameron, that was a good play on his part. Planting the foot, getting upfield.
That is the last play of the quarter. 3rd and 1 will be the first play of this 4th quarter. It is a 5-point game here in the 2nd round as we go to the 4th. We flash back to 1992, the national championship game. After 3 attempts in 77, 89, and 91, Jacksonville State finally gets a championship. 17-13, the win over Pittsburgh State, and the game-saving play made by Eric King as he deflects that pass. 17-13 victory. This Jacksonville State school, the only school in NCAA, whether it's Division 1, 2, or 3, to have a national championship in football, basketball, and baseball. On 3rd down, the handoff to the fullback, Alfonso Freeney, and Freeney just moves that pile. Gets the 1st down. 6 yards for Alfonso Freeney on his first carry of the game.
He's a guy they value in this offense. And on this 3rd and 1 here, you know, they had everyone spread out, but you can see, I mean, he's running behind his pads, low to the ground, center of gravity is low to the ground, continues to move the pile.
First and 10 from the 24. Handoff to Middleton, up the middle. And Middleton marked down back at the 21-yard line. A 3-yard run, Mike Nyam with the tackle. These two teams playing for the right to play in the quarterfinals. Quarterfinals next week. The winner of this game will take on the winner of William & Mary and Georgia Southern. Second down and 7. Ivory trying to help out Freeney with his chin strap. Georgia Southern leading by 1 point. Freelon into the game. Up the middle, we saw Freelon in the first half have some positive plays. Richard Freelon picks up 3. Mike McCrimmon, the freshman linebacker, with his 3rd tackle of the game.
They're attacking in the middle, downhill. I mean, this is what you have to do as an offense, control the line of scrimmage, but it's important, it's imperative that on this drive, they have to score a touchdown. They've been working too hard in the second half not to put 6 points, 7 points on the board.
On 3rd and 4. Ivory's pass is incomplete, looking for LeRae Williams. This offense for Jacksonville State on the season coming into this game was 42 of 46 in the red zone. 30 touchdowns in the red zone. And now, on 4th and 4, they've got Griffin Thomas on to try for the field goal attempt. Another 35-yarder.
Yeah, but when you have a Met Paul at your feet, you can't complete passes. I mean, he's putting pressure. He put pressure on Ivory right there. He couldn't step into the throw.
And Jacksonville State may have found themselves a new field goal kicker. Griffin Thomas, now a 40 and a 35-yarder. It's now a 2-point game. Wofford leading Jacksonville State here in the 4th. Point deficit right now for Jacksonville State with 13-14 to go here in the game. But really, it could have been a 1-point lead because back in that first quarter, James Esco had a chance from 37 yards out, and he just missed it. I mean, literally just missed it.
Well, this, like you said, this could have been a one-score game. They could have been up. I mean, just unfortunate, but they brought a kicker in that can make field goals. That's key going down the stretch.
Griffin Thomas will kick off. Griffin Thomas who has 2 field goals. There is James Esco right now, who's been on the bench ever since that missed field goal. He's missed 3 of his last 4 attempts. Low line drive kick taken by Jeremy Marshall. Marshall gets hit hard as he hits the 30. A 17-yard return. Brandon Bird on the special teams tackle.
Ooh, that was a quality hit right there. That's good form tackle, really exploding into the player, bringing him down.
I'm going to be very curious to see what happens here with Eric Breitenstein in an offense for Wofford. Justin Kutcher alongside Ward Dunn. 4th quarter. Play action. Allen taking a chance deep. And it is incomplete. Looking for Brenton Burson. He was looking for a flag. TJ Heath on the coverage.
Wofford comes out and said, you know what? They're stacking the line against us. My guy isn't running very well. You know what? You know, we're going to throw a bomb. We're going to throw it deep, take a chance on 1st down. What do we have to lose? We're not running the football the same anymore. He throws it up, and he does a good job of just being at the right place at the right time, getting in the way.
Good no call by the officials as well. The pitch to Breitenstein. Breitenstein stays in bounds and gets the 1st down. They mark him out at the 47-yard line. A 16-yard run for Eric Breitenstein. After 1 yard on his first 4 carries of this half, he gets 16 here.
Well, it's a little bit tiptoeing on the sideline, just really having good balance. Shows you that, hey, I'm not that injured. The shoulder's doing okay. I can play with it. I have to fight through it as a player. He does a good job of really tiptoeing up the sideline and trying to get back in field and to make a big play.
The pass to Burson. Burson breaks a tackle, gets dragged down from behind by Antonio Bonner. Bonner, a potential game-saving play. 16-yard completion to Burson.
It was a missed tackle by Francis Duncan, but you can see Mitch Allen right there. Really just came up quick pass it outside, but the DBs are so far back. They're giving them short passing routes, and they continue to making plays. Burson, that was a good play.
That short passing route led to the longest passing play of the game for Wofford. First down, handoff to Breitenstein. And Breitenstein gets a couple of yards. Jamison Wadley with the tackle. How about this for Jamison Wadley? One of 2 players on Jacksonville State's roster that's married.
Yeah, he can't play video games like everyone else. So I know they love to play video games, and he can't do that because he has to go home. Well, he wants to go home to his wife and kids. Not that he has to, but he wants to go home and spend time with his daughter.
2nd down and 8. Another pass play, incomplete for Brenton Burson. Hit him in the hands, and Burson just took his eye off the ball.
Just trying to run before the catch. I mean, you have to look it in. I mean, he had enough field in front of him where he had a blocker out there. He could have made a big play, but that's just running before the catch.
4 for 11 on 3rd downs in the ball game. For the first time today, we hear this crowd of Jacksonville State making the noise. And we've got movement up front. False start against Wofford.
Minor snap, false start. 68 on the offense. 5 yards from the goal line of scrimmage.
That's against Nate Page, the right guard.
Well, that was because of the home field advantage. The crowd forced that penalty right there because the crowd's into it. This team has been playing very well in the second half, and they've gotten this crowd into it. And that's why you saw that penalty there.
3rd false start of the day against Wofford. 3rd and 13. Play action. Allen across the middle, complete to Burson. First down, Burson gets dragged down at the 16-yard line. A 23-yard completion to Brenton Burson.
They were blitzing on this play, but Burson did a good job of flattening the route, coming across the middle, catching the football, looking it in this time, and getting upfield. I mean, this is a guy, he had a drop before, he comes back and make up for it.
5 catches, 69 yards for Brenton Burson. He had 146 yards in the last game. Hand off to Breitenstein up the middle. And Breitenstein here on this drive is a completely different player. Antonio Bonner with his 8th tackle of the game. A 4-yard run for Eric Breitenstein.
I think Breitenstein has really woken up. I mean, hurt the shoulder a little bit. It was lingering effects from it, but now he said, you know what, the game is on the line. My team needs me. He's coming out, and he's starting to be effective again like he was in the first half.
24 yards on this drive alone for Breitenstein on 3 carries. Hand off again to Breitenstein. This time he meets a sea of red. Led by number 23, Kevin Dix.
This defense needs to force a field goal. They've been playing very well in the second half, but they need a stand right now to force these guys to kick a field goal.
3rd down and 2 coming up. Under 10 to go in the game. Breitenstein now with 149 yards on the afternoon on 19 carries. It's kept by Allen. Allen dives forward for the first down. 5 yards for Mitch Allen, sets up 1st and goal from the 3.
Like I said earlier, when it's 3rd and short, it's hard to stop the triple option. Does a good job of faking it to Eric Breitenstein and getting downhill. I mean, you can't, it's hard to stop the triple option. There's so many different reads, and 3rd and short, you're not patient on defense a lot of times.
1st and goal. Hand off, Breitenstein up the middle, touchdown. Second touchdown of the game for Breitenstein. This time a 3-yard run.
Breitenstein, he needs to give credit to Nate Page, really creating the scene, a hole, driving this guy down. It was a good block and a good run. And this is the tale of 2 quarters. 3rd quarter, he wasn't around. 4th quarter, he's really stepped up.
Christian Reed on for the extra point. A big answer by the Wofford Terriers. 17-8, they lead Jacksonville State. Breitenstein gets the block up the middle, touchdown, 17-8. Back here in Jacksonville, Alabama, it's now a 17-8 ball game. Wofford after the touchdown by Eric Breitenstein, updating the second round action across the country. Appalachian State winning easily over Western Illinois. Delaware just opening it up against Lehigh, 42-13. UNH Bethune-Cookman tied at the half, and Georgia Southern leading William & Mary 14-12 in the second. The winner of that game will take on the winner of this game. Casey Redfern will kick off here for Wofford. James Shaw and Alan Bonner back deep.
They need a big return right here. Bonner needs to have a big return. They need to score quick. 9 minutes to go. We know Wofford's offense, they like to grind the clock, control the clock.
This could be just what they needed. The kickoff goes out of bounds. So now it will be Jacksonville State ball up at the 35.
Kickoff out of bounds. By rule, ball be placed at the 40-yard line. Jacksonville State, 1st down.
Placed at the 40-yard line, excuse me. How was that for a kick return?
That was a great kick return right there. I mean, that's what they needed. They needed to play like that. Unfortunately, Wofford gave it to them on the kickoff, but can they take advantage? This is a good opportunity to score quick. Can they take advantage of it?
Play action, pressure from the blind side. The pass is incomplete to LeRae Williams. The pressure applied by Blake Wiley. The corner blitz.
There's a corner blitz. Pressure on the inside, play action pass. The corner blitz. I mean, it was a good play by Blake Wiley, really putting pressure. He couldn't follow through, throw it to the guy that he wanted to throw it to give him an opportunity to run after catch.
Ivory now 10 of 22 for 100 yards on the game. Second and 10. Pass to Bonner, complete down the sideline. Gets shoved out of bounds by Tommy Irvin. A big play by their big play receiver, Alan Bonner, 24 yards.
Yeah. Preston Rosbario missed the tackle right there. I mean, you can't have that. Right now, Wofford is trying to blitz a little bit. They're mixing in the blitz a little bit, and they got burned right there. They got burned on that play.
52 yards for Bonner now on 3 catches. On 1st and 10, Ivory taking a chance, and it is intercepted. Jamar Reeves. And Reeves will get taken down in the end zone, a touchback. Blake Wiley, he tipped the ball. And then it was intercepted by Jamar Reeves. Second interception of the game thrown by Marques Ivory.
That was another one of those plays where he wasn't able to step into the throw. He throws it short, and it was tip, interception. I mean, Blake Wiley tips the football. And able to, hey, interception.
Well, the ruling on the field is that the ball was caught at the 4.5-yard line. That's where forward progress was. He then went into the end zone. They're going to mark it down at the 4.5-yard line. So they don't get it at the 20. They get it at the 4.5, which is eerily similar to what happened the last time there was an interception.
Well, they would rather have him at the 4-yard line than give him the 20. But I don't know if he has control of the football when he hits the ground.
There is no replay here in the second round coverage of the FCS Championship. The next round, the quarterfinals, there will be replay. The handoff to Breitenstein up the middle. Lowers the shoulders, falls forward for a few yards.
But really, that could have been a break for Jacksonville State, because if it's a touchback, they get the ball on the 20. Now, it's like you said, interception or punt inside the 5-yard line. They have to drive the football length of the field, so they get a break. Now, can they stop them from getting the first down? Hopefully, they can get the football back real quick.
8 minutes to go in the quarter. The pass complete to Burson, who was on a knee when he made the catch. Only a 1-yard completion. Now the question is, can Jacksonville State force the 3-and-out? Because they do need not 1 score, but 2 scores.
They need 2 scores. They have to force a 3-and-out. I mean, time is against them right now. When you have to score twice, you can't take any chances. You have to step up at this point in the game and make a play for your team.
The handoff to Breitenstein. And again, very conservative play calling there by Wofford. Maybe just afraid of turning the ball over and giving good field position to Jacksonville State.
Well, it just becomes a point in the game where you don't want to take any chances. And right now, this is not opportunity or time to take a chance. You want to give your defense, who've been playing well, give them opportunity to create another turnover for you, and hopefully you can get the football back and really run your offense.
A timeout taken by Jacksonville State. That's their first timeout. And what do you think is the reason for calling a timeout here?
Well, you know, in college football, the clock continues to run. So, you know, it wasn't an incomplete pass or anything. So you have to call a timeout, let your guys regroup. But the coaches really need to say, this is a possession here. We have to score points. We have to make a play. We can't be conservative right now. And right now, I think Ivory needs to really step into his throws and throw the football down the field and not underneath so much.
Okay, so with this, you call a timeout. It's 4th down and 6. You can't take a chance and go after this punt right now, because if you rough the kicker, they get the first down. So what are you telling your team? Hey, just sit back and let's just set up for a return?
No, you have to set up for a return. You have a really good return guy. So set up for the return. This is your best return. You can still go after it, but have a return at the same time.
Standing at the 45 is Alan Bonner. They come after the kicker. There is a flag on the play. It was James Shaw who came through, and it looked like it's going to be an offsides against Shaw. And I don't get this. I don't get this at all. By coming after, the encroachment is now giving you a first down. They're so deep in their own territory. Why not just set up for the punt return?
I agree. I would have just set up for the return. Why go after the football? I mean, you still have opportunity. The chances are running into the kicker, you give them a first down. Offsides, you give them a first down. I don't agree with going after it.
That's the first penalty against Jacksonville State in this ball game. But on top of that, if you weigh the risk-reward, the reward is not great enough if you block that punt to take that risk. On first down, the handoff to Breitenstein, and now Wofford's just hoping they can play Wofford football, and that's pick up 4 yards, pick up 5 yards, drain this clock, and run this game out.
Well, Wofford's they're gonna just run the football. They're not gonna take chances in the passing game. But Jacksonville State say, the coaches made a decision. We're gonna attempt to go after this kick. Hopefully we can block it, score a quick touchdown, get the football back. But it worked against them. So now they need to figure out a way to create a turnover and get the football back immediately and put points on the board.
Quarterback keeper for Allen gets tripped up. Good tackle. Jason Horton, but a 9-yard run for Mitch Allen.
Horton comes in and does a really good job of making the hit, but it's 9 yards downfield. I mean, the hit is great, but you have to control the line of scrimmage, force him, and go after the football. This defense right now, they're not trying to go after the football and create a turnover. They need to go after the football while also making a tackle.
1st and 10 at the 30. Wrapped up in the backfield, a little confusion. Morel Jones with the tackle. A loss of 3.
Well, it gets to a point in the game now, it's snap count. You understand the snap count. You're trying to beat the snap count. You have to play instinctive and make a play. I mean, it was an A-gap blitz. I mean, Morel Jones really hit it on the run and made a play, almost caused a turnover.
If they can force a 3-and-out now, you still have time. Handoff to Breitenstein. Not much there. Rodney Garrett combining with Kevin Dix for the tackle. And a timeout taken by Jacksonville State. They've got 1 timeout remaining. So 3rd and long coming up. A 9-point lead for Wofford. 3rd and long coming up. Wofford leading 17-8 over Jacksonville State. Back here at Burgess Snow Field, it's not snowing here. It is snowing up in Cincinnati, where Pittsburgh's playing Cincinnati. A lot of snow there, but Here it's not bad weather in the 50s, some rain, but it's 3rd and 12 coming up right now for Wofford, leading by 9, 5:12 to go. Allen keeps it. Gets hit initially by Kevin Dix, a pickup of 2. Demetrio Tyson wraps him up. And now the final timeout used here by Jacksonville State. We'll take a look at some of the scores around FCS second round action. Appalachian State looking like they're going to move on to the quarterfinals, leading 35-14 over Western Illinois. Delaware 42-20 over Lehigh. UNH leading by a touchdown over Bethune-Cookman. And Georgia Southern will take on the winner of this game. Well, if they win that game over William & Mary right now in the second, 14-12. Okay, so now you've got 4th down. There is a timeout called a few series ago when they had a chance. Do you go for the block? Do you set up the punt? They went for the block, and there was encroachment, which gave them a 1st down. Now you've got Landon Bennett on to punt. You've got your big return guy, Alan Bonner, standing at his own 38-yard line.
This is the time you go for a block. I mean, I think he was thinking a few series too much in advance. So they're actually doing a return.
Bonner returns it up to the 48-yard line. A 38-yard punt, a 20-yard return. Chris Cummings with the tackle. So 4:56 to go now in the 4th quarter. Trailing by 9, you need 2 scores. What's your strategy? We've seen them throw the ball well short. What's the strategy here for this Jacksonville State team?
Well, they still have 5 minutes to go in the game. I mean, you have to throw the football, get out of bounds, but you have to take shots downfield. You have to attack downfield. And I don't think you attack in the middle. Take your chances on the outside and throw it out and let your guy run underneath it and go get it.
Jacksonville State has had 7 come-from-behind victories this year, 4 of them coming in the final possession. Again, they need 2 scores within 5 minutes. Ivory, complete over the middle of Jeffrey Cameron. And Cameron up to the 36-yard line, a 17-yard completion. And at this point, you can't afford to take your time if you're Jacksonville State because you need those 2 quick scores.
No, you're in a 2-minute offense, but anytime you pick up a 1st down in college, the clock is stopped. So they have a second to regroup. He has to create plays. Throw the football away, take what they give you.
Or take that pass to Jeffrey Cameron. And Cameron, another quick 1st down, gets out of bounds as well to stop the clock. 16 yards on the play. Good job by Marques Ivory keeping that play alive.
But when nothing's there, he feels a little bit of pressure. You have to escape one way. What are you going to do? You're going to run, make him commit to you, throw it downfield.
No timeouts remaining for Jacksonville State. Ivory, the quick pass to Cameron again. His knee was down. They're going to mark him down after a 9-yard pickup. A 2nd and 1.
It's 2nd and 1. They can't take any time now. Pick up the 1st down. They'll stop the clock and move the chains. But you have to come away with something here.
Ivory incomplete to LeRae Williams, who gets hit hard, and 3 flags come in.
Pass is incomplete. The intended receiver number 21, LeRae Williams, we have flags on the play.
Personal foul. Number 42 on the defense. Blow to the head on the defenseless receiver. Half the distance from the original line of scrimmage. Automatic 1st down.
Tommy Urban gets charged for the personal foul. Let's take a look. They say helmet to helmet.
It was helmet to helmet, a little bit of blitz, but he can't attack above the shoulders. You can't do that. They're trying to protect these guys right now. So many injuries across this country, pro and college football, of guys going above the shoulder pads. You have to protect them. That may not have been the case right there, but they're trying to protect the integrity of the game.
1st and goal from the 6. Ivory rolls out to the right. Back into the end zone, overthrows his receiver, Alan Bonner. He was wide open, the pressure being applied by Jamar Reeves.
This is the first time that we've seen Ivory on the run, on the move. That was a little bit on the move, trying to run, throw the ball on the run. I mean, why not just sit him in the pocket and let him just pick who he wants to throw to? Now you're forcing him to a side.
Game clock at 3:54. Ivory, open receiver, touchdown. Alan Bonner. Six-yard touchdown pass.
Yeah, Ivory steps into this football throw, and Bonner catches a good slant. I mean, it was a good route. Presses up, come across, lays out, and gets it.
On for the extra point is Griffin Thomas. And Thomas misses the extra point. A missed field goal and now a missed extra point in the game by the kicking game between Griffin Thomas and James Esco.
The kicking game is not their friend today. I mean, it's a point in time where you have to make field goals, you have to make extra points. This is a key time right now.
Marques Ivory was 4 for 6 on the drive, 52 yards, and that 6-yard touchdown pass to Alan Bonner. Okay, 3:51 to go. There are no timeouts. Can you afford to kick off, or do you have to go for an onside kick?
I think you have to go for an onside kick. You have to try to get the football back immediately. If you kick the football down the field, they can run the clock out. You don't have any timeouts to stop it. They just continue to run the clock. And then this game could be over with.
Tough decisions here. Again, a timeout was used to discuss whether or not to block a punt early. They went for the block punt. It was encroachment. And that led to a first down. Took an additional 3 minutes off the clock. Griffin Thomas is on. Not lined up right now. But looking at the numbers on the field, it looks like the hands unit is there for this Jacksonville State defense on this kickoff.
You have to try to figure out a way in the kicking game to get the football back. To me, an onside kick, attacking one of the guys over there, getting the football, you have to try to get it back.
They're going to kick it off. Rucker will take it from the 7. And Rucker just slides to the ground at the 20. Here at Burgess Snow Field in Jacksonville, Alabama. FCS second round action between Wofford and Jacksonville State. Justin Kutcher alongside 3-time NFL Pro Bowler Warwick Dunn. Coming down to the final minutes here. 17-14 lead for Wofford. Wofford's got all 3 of their timeouts remaining, but they're not going to use any of these on offense. They don't want this clock to stop. Jacksonville State does not have a timeout remaining. Just scored a touchdown but missed the extra point. They have a missed extra point, a missed field goal in this game.
Well, I was mistaken earlier. The play clock is a little bit short on the college level, so they have opportunity to get the football back, but they have to force a 3 and out.
Hand off to Breitenstein, and Breitenstein falls forward, marked down at the 24-yard line. Morrell Jones with a tackle, his 9th of the game, a 4-yard run. So this Wofford team now will just let that play clock go all the way down to maybe 2 or 1 before they snap it, take as much time off the clock as they can.
They shouldn't be in any hurry at all. Use the whole play clock, force them to stop you, force them to play up, and you can probably take a shot if you want to, but I wouldn't. I would run the football downhill with my guys.
Play clock at 4. The pitch to Jeremy Marshall stays in bounds. Juwan Booker with a tackle. A 7-yard run. And that's good enough for the first down. The clock stops at 3 and starts to run as soon as the officials give the word. The word has been given.
Well, when you're trying to create a turnover, stop a team right now, when you're playing against the option, you have to be patient. Now you can't. You have to play in attack mode. And when you play in attack mode, that's when big plays with this option teams can happen.
And off to Breitenstein on first down. And again, as you talk about throughout this broadcast, falling forward. Had that momentum go forward. He's falling forward and getting a couple more yards each time.
Well, that tells you a really effective running back when he can fall forward. Any player who can fall forward, I mean, that's what you want. That's running behind your pad level.
William & Mary now leading at the half by 1 over Georgia Southern. North Dakota State leading Montana State 7-0 in that game in the second quarter. Breitenstein now with 170 yards on the ground today with 2 touchdowns. Breitenstein again, just diving forward. Clock continues to run. 5 yards for Breitenstein.
Jacksonville State, what you want to do is you want to try to force guys up the middle, send your linebackers up the middle, and your tackles, you have to control the line of scrimmage, so you force them back into the linebackers. That's the only way you're going to stop the option from going inside.
A first down here, it's the game. 3rd and 4. It could be 2-down territory potentially. Breitenstein up the middle, and they're going to give him the first down. Wofford is going to be able to really just now take a knee and run the clock out.
Well, now it comes to the offensive line. Understanding what they want to accomplish, get the 4 yards, and they're getting downhill, the running back getting downhill and picking up a key first down.
Triple option, no more. It's taking a knee for Mitch Allen. Wofford's going to move on to the quarterfinals. This year they termed the road to redemption. Preseason picked 6th. Finished last year 3-8. They will move to 10-2 on the season, defeating Jacksonville State on the road 17-14.
It's a tough way to lose at home when you had opportunity. A lot of plays you left on the field. They're going to look back on this game. They left it on the field. A lot of plays out there. So, you know, it's time to regroup and realize the things that happened in this game. So hopefully you can build on it for next year.
Eric Breitenstein had 121 yards on the ground in the first half. He finished with 179 with 2 touchdowns. So Wofford has punched its ticket to the quarterfinals, awaiting the winner of William & Mary, Georgia Southern. Top half of the bracket, Delaware was leading big over Lehigh. New Hampshire was leading Bethune-Cookman at last look. Wofford out of the Southern Conference, the co-champs in the Southern Conference with Appalachian State, will advance to the quarterfinals. The 3rd trip to the postseason in the last 4 years will be extended at least 1 week longer for the Wofford Terriers. Our final score here in Jacksonville, Wofford 17, Jacksonville State 14. For Warwick Dunn and our entire crew, I am Justin Kutcher. Thanks for watching. Goodbye from Burgess Snowfield in Jacksonville, Alabama, where Wofford will move on to the quarterfinals of the FCS Championship.